Meghan Markle has been accused of emotional cruelty and manipulation of staff in bullying claims at Kensington Palace. Yes, boy, live in a glass house and throw rocks at everyone else, and eventually those rocks will come sailing back at you. Meghan Markle in Fiji wore earrings from Saudi Prince MBS from the Saudi Prince Mohammed bin Salman after the Jamal Khashoggi murder. Okay, now it has been now proven that Mohammed bin Salman was involved. So they lured Jamal Khashoggi, a Saudi journalist, to the Saudi embassy where he was choked to death and dismembered and taken out in trash bags later. And Mohammed bin Salman did this. So, what is Meghan's connection to this very wealthy prince? Yacht girl, I don't know. I think we need to explore this. And finally, Meghan Markle calls the bullying claims a calculated smear campaign ahead of the tell-all. I find it very interesting that in the previous read about the Queen, with the Queen and Meghan side by side, the devil came out on the Queen's side. The Queen never shows emotion. I never see emotion in her cards. She is very, 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 very upset about this Oprah interview. And I think there's a very good chance that they are taking actions. The Crown never complains, never explains, never takes action. But the Queen is preempting the Oprah interview by appearing just before the interview. And now Meghan is getting her character attacked. I find that very interesting. We're going to have to look at these things.
Good day, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel. Time for a spot of royalty. Well, this is kind of juicy. Meghan is accused of being emotionally cruel and manipulative to staff. I mean, this had to come out. Look at all the people who quit. The helicopter pilot quit. She was sending him around for snickerdoodles, you know, in the middle of the night. He was 20 years a helicopter pilot, very well qualified, and she is just tormenting him for false pregnancy cravings when she's not pregnant, using him to, you know, risking his life to promote this false narrative that she's pregnant. All the nannies quit. All the top aides quit. The name Melissa Tuabati, I'm not sure if she's the top aide, but there was an aide specifically who was in the palace for years, and she was going to leave, but the Queen sent her specifically to Meghan and Harry to run the other palace aides for them, you know, as a favor, you know, giving from her, you know, top staff. And that lady, she lasted like a month. I think she quit right after Fiji. So let's look at some of these things. Is Meghan emotionally cruel and manipulative to staff? Be interesting to see what we get here. Is she emotionally cruel and manipulative to staff? Yeah. Oh my, that's interesting. All those tens. There's a common saying, you know, if you're dating somebody, if this is your friend, if you're getting to know someone, watch how they treat people who they feel have less status than them, like waiters, waitresses. And if they're cruel to those people, watch out, because you're next. Even if they're super nice to you, but they're cruel to waiters and waitresses and all that stuff, and anybody they can be nasty to, that behavior is coming for you, okay? So what do we have here? Is she emotionally cruel and manipulative to staff? 10 hearts, the big emotional card. Okay, Meghan always gets the 10 hearts. She's always getting the devil. The devil's not here, but we got the snake. This is the stepsister of the devil. And the snake is a devil card. Okay, the snake in the Garden of Eden, that's a devil card. And it's a great demonic card. So very emotional, working very hard. Hamster is the hardest working card in the deck. and it's also a long journey over water. So I'm going to say here it's this, and it's the same thing happening over and over. So I'm going to say she's very focused on work and achieving her goal, and she'll do anything. She'll destroy people. She'll walk over dead bodies to get to her goal. She's laser focused on her goals, and she's very emotionally connected to it. Actually, I just described The Secret. Okay, if you read the book The Secret, that's how they say The Secret works. Get your emotions involved, be very focused on your goal, and manifest. But here, she's willing to destroy her relationships, cut off people, cut off her father, cut off her whole family. But the center is emotional. Very interesting. Very interesting. And 10 of Cups is overflowing emotion, too much emotion, hyper emotionality, very happy, or any kind of overflowing emotion. Butterfly, transformation, committed to transformation. Snake and roses. Oh, yeah. There's a devil with a sweet appearance. So very, the snake is very strong. It's very calculating. It's lying in the grass, but it's showing a sweet appearance. An iron fist in a velvet glove. Okay, she's really, really determined, and she'll cut anybody. Very quick decisions, and the key is 9 hearts, 9 clubs. 9s are almost completed. 10s are completed. 1s are beginning. So this is saying the most important thing to her is rising to the top. Okay, so she'll cut people. She's very determined, but she puts a sweet face on it. Very emotional, and is willing to put in the work. And each time she gets so committed, she transforms herself. So what I see Meghan having done in marrying Harry is she completely transformed herself into exactly the person that she believed Harry wanted her to be. And so he married her, and she got the Duchess slot. And as soon as that happened, she completely changed over again, because once she achieved her goal, and a narcissist, and this is what we're trying to get at here, is she a narcissist? Is she two completely different people? And a narcissist lacks a real sense of who they are. The girl that I dated who was a narcissist, my summary of her was she had no idea who she was. She didn't know if she was gay or straight, a male or a female. She'd be very wary of people who don't know who they are, who don't have hobbies and interests and a friend group around them. They don't know who they are. And that's kind of how I view Meghan. Meghan doesn't seem to, she's able to completely transform herself at the drop of a hat, because there's not a solid base of who she is, where that is not true of Harry. Everybody knows who Harry is, and Harry's been completely changed since his involvement with Meghan. And he simply was not, he didn't show any of those traits before. And so there's two possibilities. One, that's who he was all along, okay, and they hid it really well, or she's changed him, and he lacks it's called frame. He doesn't have a strong enough frame to stand up to her. So based in emotionalism, very, very, very determined. Let's look at this connection between Meghan and Mohammed bin Salman. Okay, and this guy I think there's an international warrant out for his arrest. And what is her connection to him? And I think it's yacht girl. And this is exactly the kind of man that, Meghan would meet, a very wealthy, very powerful, connected person. He's the son of the king of Saudi Arabia. And it's very interesting, that Meghan is she's such a feminist, which that's really, I think there's only 4 letters in that word. But Mohammed bin Salman is very different. The way they treat women in Saudi Arabia is they're not allowed to drive. I think they limit their education to like 8th grade or something. It's quite the opposite of what Meghan preaches herself to be. So let's put Mohammed bin Salman here, and there's an arrest warrant out for him for the death of Jamal Khashoggi. Okay, and I covered that briefly. But let's put Mohammed bin Salman and Meghan. What is their connection? Because I'm very curious to see if they were lovers. What is the connection? Because she knows she was wearing those earrings. She knows powerful people. That was definitely a nod to him. She didn't do that accidentally. She didn't wear his earrings accidentally. She wanted him to notice and be pleased. And that's interesting. That's one of her first things with Harry. So that's kind of disrespectful to Harry. Disrespectful to Harry and the royal family. What is her connection to Mohammed bin Salman? Ongoing connection, now blocked, and Mother Earth is very situational, or can be a mother and a baby, because this woman is pregnant. The Mother Earth is pregnant. 12 and 10, 22. She knows him. She knows him over a long time because of through other people. Okay, now Mother Earth can say she got pregnant by him. She actually got pregnant by him. And that's just too juicy to pass up. We'll throw some cards to see if that's it. Otherwise, this is just the situation. Everything grows in Mother Earth. The Queen of Clubs is a great feminine card, and feminine cards are, they can also represent the situation where male cards are more direct action. So did she get pregnant by him? By Mohammed bin Salman? Lovers. Ooh, cross. Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, those are interesting cards. Cross is the marriage card. Permanent relationship. Diamond ring, a couple, lovers and a couple, and marriage. 7, 9, 11, 3 clubs. They had quite a close relationship. Okay, they had a lover's relationship, and they may have she may have been interested in marrying him. She was interested in marrying him. They had a very close relationship, and this is the marriage card. Cross is the marriage card. So Mohammed bin Salman is someone that Meghan Markle definitely had in her crosshairs to marry. That was absolutely someone she wanted to marry. That's very interesting. What do we have over here? Mohammed bin Salman. Player. Okay, he's spreading the love around to lots of the ladies. 4-leaf clover and player. This can be 4-leaf clover with player, can be the sex act, and many. Meghan was one of many. For Mohammed bin Salman, Meghan was one of many. So, yacht girl. So they definitely were lovers. She wanted to marry him. He was not thinking that at all. She's just, a beautiful girl that he met among many other beautiful ladies, and he can have his pick, and he can have a whole harem because he's in Saudi Arabia. And it's like herds of deer over there. So what do we have up here? Sun and cornerstone. Oh, the connection, the foundation and the connection are revealed. And this adds 2 heart. Wow. So I think their lovers' relationship, I think the lovers' relationship between Meghan and Mohammed bin Salman is going to be revealed. That's what this is saying to me. So he was just playing around. She wanted to marry him. She's one of many, and she knew him from the situation, but she wanted to marry him. How much money do you have, Mohammed bin Salman? Heck yeah. I mean, all this feminist stuff, we can just, forget that. She'll marry Mohammed bin Salman, and, change her ways. These bullying revelations, a carefully calculated smear campaign ahead of the Oprah tell-all, because that, that interview with Oprah, it easily could have been 15 minutes. If it wasn't fantastic, they could have folded it in to another news program and gave like 10 minutes of just Meghan Markle interviewing with Oprah, but they kept expanding it. It was 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, and now it's 2 hours. Wow. They've got some juicy stuff. Okay, they're really spilling the tea there. Okay, so are these bullying revelations, emotional cruelty and manipulation of staff revelations, are they a calculated smear campaign ahead of the Oprah tell-all? Is this a smear campaign by the palace? Smear campaign. Oh my. Oh, and there's the devil hiding on the bottom. Is this a calculated smear campaign? On top, strength, very solid. Royal family, very solid. Water into wine, transforming on the surface, 21, 29, 8 hearts, 8 hearts. On the surface, this interview has the potential to really change the situation for the royal family, and they're not happy about it. That's right on the surface. What's underneath? We have Angel, keeping your hands clean, reacting to, it's interesting how the cards are speaking. Reacting to the bad relationships and the lies, secrets and blaming. Oh, yeah. So nothing is Meghan's responsibility. Nothing is Meghan's fault. She never takes responsibility for anything. It's going to be blaming. First, she was blaming Kate. Then she was blaming William for everything. She's even started blaming Harry a little bit. She blames everybody. So this is going to be a cavalcade of blame, 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 shame, 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 and, playing the bigotry and the sexism cards. Oh my gosh, the Queen never realized that Meghan was a girl, and so she's so sexist toward Meghan. Come on, man. Okay, so underneath, we have reacting to the lies and the bad relationship, showing themselves, the crown, as the innocent parties in the midst of all this blaming and secrets, revealing secrets and blaming. So they are trying to come out on top. So is this a smear campaign? It doesn't say that. It says that the crown is trying to come out on top, smelling like a rose. And that's what Meghan is trying to do by throwing rocks at everyone else's glass house, Meghan is very clearly smearing the royal family, trying to make them look bad. So the royal family is trying to keep their hands clean. This is one of the 48 laws of power. Keep your hands clean. Always kill with a borrowed sword. So they're trying to keep their hands clean. They're trying to keep their reputation clean in the midst of all this blaming, shaming, and lying. And 6 spades is a great lying card. It's also a bad relationship card. It's also a drug addiction card. So any kind of negative relationship, bad, usually it involves some kind of evil, some kind of going too far, some kind of lack of control. That's the 6 spades, incubus, succubus. It sucks the life out of you. So is Meghan two completely different people? One at home, one outside. Okay, my father was a narcissist. At home, he was the devil on wheels. He was a terror. Okay, and so for instance, at the dinner table, we had to be absolutely silent, or we'd catch a beating, and much worse. Okay, and 1 or 2 times I ate over at my friend's house, Danny, and they insisted that we talk. They kept asking me questions, and I was so uncomfortable, and finally said, why are you asking me questions? Because absolute silence at the dinner table was required. in my house. And so I was so uncomfortable with being asked questions. So, but my father, he was the greatest guy ever to everyone else outside the house. So inside the house, he was two completely different people. Inside the house, he was an absolute terror. Outside the house, he was a party animal. He was the most generous man you're ever going to meet. He was always happy. He was always smiling. Everybody loved him. That's what I think is going on with Meghan here. That's a baby bump. Okay, so is Meghan two completely different people? At least. One in the home being just a terror to the servants, and obsequiously sucking up to Oprah, which she clearly does. Okay, is she two completely different people? Is she, living that bipolar life? Oh boy. I'm glad I shuffled enough. Look at that. So right on the surface, we have a split personality, split karmic relationship. She has a split with herself, and executioner cuts. It cuts the head off. 13 and 8, 21, 6 hearts, 6 hearts. So the executioner is very powerful, very ruthless. And spades are air cards. Okay, diamonds are air cards too, but spades are air cards. And so they can, in an instant, they can change. So she can switch in an instant. The executioner doesn't need to ask anybody and is completely autonomous. And that's part of what makes the executioner so powerful. So she can switch at any time, and she, like I was saying before, she literally has like no sense of self, or really doesn't have a positive sense of self. And that's because narcissists tend to grow up in poor environments where they were shamed for being who they are, and they felt rejected as who they are, so they make up a false persona, and so they don't have a stable sense of who they are. And that's why they're so changeable. And Meghan is so changeable. She can transform herself into anything and anybody. And we see actors and actresses do this all the time. That is actually a great career path, and she chose to be an actress, which is exactly what she's called to do, to throw herself into this new persona and to embody that and make it her own. That's what an actor does. That's what an actress does. So that's absolutely who she is. She's able to completely transform herself and change herself, and just make a clean break at any time. So definitely at least two different people. So home, good body card, cornucopia, everything and the people around you, stop. 13, 21, 6 hearts. Yeah, so this might be freezing out. What does this say? People around, money, and the people around her, and full stop. Money, people closely associated, and full stop. Yeah, so she absolutely is someone who can transform herself at a moment's notice and indefinitely. That is literally what she does. She's an actress. So she definitely is, she's living that bipolar life. She's living that, she can be who she wants to be when she wants. And I think this with Khashoggi, with Mohammed bin Salman, she wanted to marry him. Okay, this dedicated feminist who all she does is screech about women's rights and the empowerment of women, she would marry Mohammed bin Salman for his big fat checkbook. And that man is not in any sense of the word a feminist or supportive of the feminist agenda or women's empowerment or anything else. And that seems completely opposed to who Meghan says she is. But she decides who she is depending on what she wants to get out of the relationship. And that is a really good indicator right there. So let's review this. What do we have? Okay. Was Meghan emotionally cruel and manipulative to staff? It's all about the emotions. It's all about rising to the highest point. She has the iron glove inside the iron fist inside the velvet glove. It's just appearance, and she can transform herself in an instant. So it's all officially it's emotionally based, but she'll wreck anybody to get what she wants. And she has no compassion for others. Mohammed bin Salman, very interesting. He was just playing around. She's one of the ladies that he met and enjoyed her company, so to speak. She wanted to marry him. Those days are over. Okay, those days are over. And I asked this additional question because this is a pregnancy card. So I asked, did she get pregnant from him? And this could say, these are marriage cards. She wanted to marry him. She definitely wanted to marry him. And this will be exposed later. I can't wait for more to come out about Mohammed bin Salman and Meghan Markle. You heard it first here. She wanted to marry him. Okay, that's kind of a big deal. He was not on board with it. But she would have married that guy who killed Khashoggi, and he's the ultimate anti-feminist. Okay, number 3. Is this a carefully calculated smear campaign by the palace? I wouldn't characterize it as that. They're keeping their hands clean. They play such a tight game of chess. They play a very, very excellent, wonderful game of chess. They are responding directly to the lies and the allegations before they're preemptively striking and keeping their image clean. And that's what they have to do. Is Meghan multiple different kinds of people? Absolutely. That's exactly what she is. And she can make this cut anytime. And when she decides to get rid of Harry, and she will, she's just going to be absolutely ruthless. And she's going to be like a completely different person. And Harry's going to be really confused and devastated. And, that's what we get with the 10 spades. She just throws people away and rejects them. And it's called devaluation by a narcissist. That's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination and Fortune Telling, the Magi Method. Find the book on Amazon. Find the full color card deck on Etsy. Please it helps the algorithm. More people see it. A lot of people have been unsubscribed, so hit the subscribe again and hit the bell icon so you'll get notified, and share it if you like.